the Swiss Global Digital Summit, which took place in Geneva 2 years ago around the topic digital ethics and fairness in the digital age. And Willy Maurer at that time gathered together with Digital Switzerland, the Swiss-wide organization around digitalization. They gathered leaders from national but also international companies and organizations in Geneva to talk about this topic. And the idea was first to sign a Swiss digital declaration, so a paper, a document where the leaders would adhere or would state that they would adhere to certain principles in the digital age. However, there exist already around 200 or more even documents on a national, international, company level around these statements. And actually what everyone is asking is, how can we actually come from these principles into practice? How can we bring these principles to the business practice? And so the starting point of the Swiss Digital Initiative Foundation was actually that there is a need for a more long-term initiative, thinking and actually doing something about around these topics. So that's why the foundation was created at the beginning of 2020, and since then we are working on this label, on different other projects as well. And I think the topic of digital ethics has become even more present, even more relevant during the last 2 years. Why is it relevant for society? Of course, it's technology, you have the technological aspects, but very important are the societal aspects, and I would even claim even more important, because what we saw, we could stay connected, we could continue to work despite being all at home. But on the other hand, we also saw an increase in cyber attacks, infodemic, data scandals. We even saw some breaches here in Switzerland some weeks ago. So this, on the other hand, increased also the mistrust against or vis-a-vis these different digital tools. So if you take, for example, the Swiss COVID app, you have a very good privacy by design technology developed with where you or the privacy concerns, security concerns were respected. But good technology falls short if digital trust is not guaranteed, if there is no acceptance. So the cornerstone of a sustainable digital transformation is this digital trust. And we don't want to live in a world where we can't trust. We see it already in the analog world and in the digital as well. We see a more and more or a decay of trust, I would say. So not just in technologies, but also in our institutions, in the media. But do we want to live in a world where you don't know anymore who to trust? So I would say it should be a priority for leaders today to foster trust and digital trust as well. However, I think it's not just about promoting trust. So you really, or companies, the different stakeholders in the digital realm, they need to earn the trust, because what we saw during the past 2 years working around this topic is you can make claims, you can state in theory what you're doing, but trust is very easily lost. So we were thinking about how can we promote or how can we make digital services more trustworthy. And that brings me now to our main project, the Digital Trust Label. So the idea is to give users a tool. Today, users don't have a tool where they know what is behind these digital services unless you are very much interested or you're an expert or working in the field. So this Digital Trust Label is some kind of a mix between, I would say, a bio label, for example. So securing a certain, so that you are sure that a certain standard is met in the field of security, privacy, fairness and reliability. But on the other hand, it gives also you as a user more information, it's kind of also a nutrition fact table for the digital world. And it should also, besides giving more transparency, if you know, let's take an example that's easier. So if you apply for a job, for example, you would like to know if it's an algorithm doing the screening or if it's a real person. And if it's an algorithm, you would like to probably double check it by a human person. And today you don't have this possibility. That's what we want to create with this digital trust label.